Today is day 3 of bootcamp series. jwmtray, which is down here, is what you see. And you'll see a lot of applets or widgets here. And these are mainly controlled by a rocks filer. So we can go ahead and open up rocks and then take a look inside with the Control H. And then we can look at the startup folder. Within startup you'll see a lot of applets here that's running. This is a applet, this is a script that I need to record this in an external monitor so that you will not have this. But I think the this is conky here, which is here, which is what you see here, and if you don't want that being shown, you can go ahead and just right click, for example, and then either trash or delete, and then next time when it boots you will not see conky come up. And similarly you can cron D has to do with the scheduled applets that's running, and if you wish not to have the noise when you boot up on the machine, nice musical notes, then I just usually I prefer not to have that, so we can throw that in the trash. PCOM has to do with making it look fancy, and I think the rest of it we can go ahead and since I don't use touchpad on my machine here, we can go ahead and just put that in our trash also. While we are at it, we can take a brief look at the auto start menu, and this is a auto start, and let me just go back. This is actually in .config folder, and auto start in here. So firewall status has to do with the protection from the hackers on the router, and since it's enabled, as you see here, I don't need to see that all the time, so we'll go ahead and put that in our trash. This has to do with the memory and mainly has to do with the save file rather than save folder that now modern puppylinux uses. So we'll go ahead and right now it's giving you a warning that the personal storage is too low, but since that is not pertinent to usual save folder, we'll just go ahead and throw that in our trash. Some people may like a clipboard, and I don't use it at all, so we'll go ahead and throw that in our trash. And so I want to explain right now we set up the sound application, sound source application, as shown here on the icon here. Is I've removed it because I notice in this particular my setup sometimes this does not get loaded. So what I've done is remove the retrovault.desktop, which is normally here. I deleted that, and instead I put it on my start at .sh file, which starts automatically each time. As I mentioned just a minute ago, this first line has to do with configuring the external monitor, and for now you can just ignore rest of it except for down here, and this retrovault is this applet, the sound applet that automatically starts each time when I boot. But that's the side point to explain why you don't see that particular desktop here. Now Now I have it restarted, and you can see that Conky did not start as has been instructed, and also that these applets are much more organized. So we still have the sound, the card status, and also Wi-Fi. And this is a resource monitor that we did not delete from our startup folder. So we'll go ahead and start on JWM Desk Manager. So we'll take a closer look here, and then we'll make it a little larger. And particularly what we want to concentrate is the tray tab, and we just click here. And right now it's on the tray tab is on the bottom, and I prefer it to be on the top. So we'll just go ahead and click, and then go ahead and top, and then left, right. The rest of it is fine. The short dimension has to do with the height of the test bar. And then because I usually prefer, rather than 3 virtual desktops, I prefer 6. So we can go ahead and rows and column, we'll just change it to 6 virtual desktop. And task list, I prefer not to have these text that show up here. And to do that, you have to get this in the 25, number 25, rather than default setting of 200. So we'll just go ahead and down arrow and down to 25. You can't just type it in, and you have to go all the way just down to 25. And then rest of the finer tune-up, we'll go ahead and proceed to the next, but we'll go ahead and apply and then take a look at the how it's changed. So now you can see that it's on the top, and there's 6 virtual display desktops here. So further, and you can see that there is no text because the maximum width has changed to 25, and we'll just quit at this point. It will be a lot less distracting if you get rid of all these icons on the desktop, and I prefer to have no desktop icons anyway. So to do that, what we'll have to do is to go ahead and F12 again, JWM Desk Manager, and then make it a little bigger again. And so we can go into icon layout, and then there are no desktop icons, and apply. But if I do that, it stops the screen recording. So that's the step you take, and then we'll continue on after I reboot. Now I've rebooted, and you can see that there's no more desktop icons that here. But I did open up a Genie text editor, and also a Rocks filer here. And what I've loaded up into Genie is this particular file, tray.wmrc tray. So this is at the point that here, and now I'm going to cheat a little bit. I also have loaded up my usual tray file that I use on daily basis. And so let me just go over what we see in the default setup. So you can see that there's menu, and there is a find run, which is a launcher here, and show desktop, and there's the browser. So that's I believe default browser is Pale Moon. So and then the this has to do with there is a space or width. So in between these you can specify a spacing in the pixels space width. So you can, depending on where you put this and then the number of the width, you can make the empty space. So here's a clock format. So so roughly that's the default setting, and we'll just get quickly compared to the final product that we'll go ahead and go over. So we're gonna have a fairly a space before even a menu here, the dog ear, for example, and so it's going to be mainly a spacer, and then also the clock format is going to change, and I'll put this on the description notes, and we'll have a the log off button at this end. That's leave puppy. So that's what simply from my default configuration, my daily use default configuration will just grab everything, control A, and then control C to copy, and then we'll just override it to the present default setting. So we'll again control A and then control V to paste. So now we're gonna save that, and then we will have to reboot, but I think it's likely it's going to stop the screen recording. So I'll just stop it here, and then after I give it a command jwm space restart, is going to refresh the tray here. So we'll continue on at that point. Now I restarted JWM space restart, and this is what I ended up with. So you can see that space here and here has been added. The clock appearance is slightly different, and also the space has been created here and here. So mainly when on my daily use, I usually just concentrate here to see which desktop I'm at, and also which programs are running. As far as getting the menu icon and also shutdown icon, what I decided to do is go ahead and open up a US share pixmaps directory, and taking a look inside, and you just go ahead and with the plus key make it larger, and we can see that what I decided to do is use a puppy logo 96 PNG, which is here. So puppy logo so puppy logo 96. So this is the and just to put it in the icon here, you just it's in a path, so you don't have to type in the whole directory structure, but go ahead and puppy logo 96 PNG right here, and then also for logout shutdown icon is in the same path, shutdown 48. So shutdown 48 PNG. So you just go ahead and put that into the appropriate icon, equal sign, then save it, and then reboot, and it should look like this. Finally, the control of the font and size of the letters within the tray is a function of JWM theme. So we'll go ahead and drag that into Genie, and then here you can change the tray style, which mainly has to do with a size and a font style here to, let's go ahead and change to 14, and then the clock theme is actually controlled clocks under clock style, so we'll go ahead and make that 15, and then we'll go ahead and save it, and then we'll go ahead and JWM restart again, and then we'll continue afterwards. Now we refresh the tray configuration. Now you can see the menu is slightly larger, and likewise the clock letters.